Hey everybody, I know it's been a long time since I have posted, but I am back. I have new things in progress and I can't wait to share them all with you. Today's video is an updated lacing tutorial. It's going to show how I get this really cool effect in the cover photo right here, so keep watching if you want to learn how. As usual, all materials will be linked in the description box below. I've got them on the screen here, but they will be linked directly to the products that I am using. Here are just a few other examples of paintings I've made with this technique. There is this blue and white Florida silhouette, and then there are some other Maryland pieces that I have tried this technique out with a bunch of different color schemes, and I'm getting the same really cool, almost like galaxy-inspired results consistently by using this style. So if you're interested in learning how to make pieces like this, here we go. So my first resin layer is just a layer of glitter, and that is to give me the depth, the sparkle, all of the really cool things that you see in the final pieces when using this technique. So for this piece in particular, I used Maryland flag colors. So I used red, I used gold and yellow, I used black, and I also used white. A good tip that I got from @PoorGirlArt on Instagram is to mix your high quality glitters. In this case, the ones that I got from Counterculture DIY, from Poor Girl Art's giveaway actually. You mix those with your craft glitter and it makes them last longer, it makes them go farther, and they still have a beautiful sparkling effect. So here I'm just kind of like color blocking out the entire shape with the color scheme that I want, and it's just abstract. There's not really necessarily like a format to it. I'm just putting the colors where I think they look nice next to each other, knowing that the next layer I'm going to do the detailing on top of this base. I'm not necessarily mixing the glitters together. They are touching, they blend slightly, but I don't want them to get muddy. I do want them to still be distinct patches of that red, of that gold. So here I am using, it's one of the Counterculture DIY glitters, and it has stars in it, and it has red, orange, and gold. And I'm using this because it ties all of my other glitter colors together. So that's something that I like to do with this style, is to find one type of glitter, whether it's an iridescent white or whether it's a multicolor glitter, to kind of tie all the other colors together and give it an extra pop. I am also using some metal flake. Painthuffer is my favorite brand. I'm not sponsored or anything, they just are quick. And so I have a little bit of that metal flake mixed into the black and then mixed into this white with my Counterculture DIY glitter that has stars and other things in it. I like to use iridescent colors because I think they give it a little bit more of a color shift, and when the light hits it, I think it just ends up being really gorgeous. So for the rest of this layer, you're just going to see me kind of filling in the gaps on this panel here, and just adding a little bit of color where I feel like it might have gotten too muted or too much of just one. And then the last step is just to take your heat gun and do a quick once over top of the entire piece to pop any bubbles and make sure that it dries even. And then this is what that looks like with all the glitter here. Brings us to layer 2, and what we're going to do is just lay out a layer of clear resin all over the entire panel. This is the key to getting this technique to work, is to have that clear base layer to add your colors to. So make sure the entire panel is coated, and then that's when the fun part happens. I like to use resin paste because it's opaque and I feel like I get the best results with it. So I have mixed up black, red, and yellow and white, and you can see that I am just drizzling little bits of those colors on the panel on top of that clear, so the color is kind of floating on top of it, and I am layering some of those colors so that they interact with each other once the heat is applied. And for this, you just kind of figure out where the colors will look good on top of that glitter base that you did. And then you take your heat gun and you start heating it to get the really cool lacing and cell effects. So where the colors, those resin pastes interact with each other, they will start to blend together and it creates some really, really beautiful effects. I like to keep my heat gun on the low setting, and I keep it maybe a ½ inch to an inch above the resin. You don't want to touch your heat gun to the resin. I've done that. It will burn it. Just be careful that you are aware of the distance between the nozzle and the resin, just so that doesn't happen. And then if you decide that your colors that you laid out need a little extra, you can add more and then just heat it again to have those cells develop. But it doesn't take a lot. You can just heat it, let it sit, see if the cells come out, and if it's not where you want it to be, then you can go back in. But you don't want to overdo it from the start. You want to give the resin some time to create those effects after you've applied the heat. You also want to make sure that you do heat the entire layer of resin just to pop any bubbles that might have appeared. So this is the final result. This is in a light box, just to show you. It's been really rainy here, but just to show you how those colors shift in that glitter layer below, and then all of the detailing. And I think this is just absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of lava almost, but I love the way this turned out, and I am so happy with using this technique. If you decide to give it a try, whether it's on your own state piece or in your beach art or in anything, I would love it if you would tag me on Instagram. I am at SAMANTHASDOODLES, and I will link all of that in the description below. But this is my updated cell and lacing. I hope you enjoy. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this and if you are going to give it a try yourself. Bye, guys.